Anne Heche, a fearless actress whose daring roles still echo across screens. Paul Rubens, the mischievous creator of Pee-wee, turned eccentricity into cultural gold. David McCallum, the suave spy of The Man from UNCLE, left an indelible imprint. Richard Lewis, the sharp-tongued comic, mastered timing that still fuels today's stand-up. Freddie Mercury, the operatic rock titan, taught the world how to own a stage. Robbie Coltrane, the towering giant of film, embodied power and subtlety in every role. The camera lingers on a dimly lit backstage area where a lone figure adjusts a microphone. It is not a rehearsal for a new role, but a moment that captured the world in 2012. Samuel L. Jackson stepping onto the stage of the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Nick Fury. In that instant, a seasoned actor with decades of grind-filled work became the visual shorthand for authority, humor, and relentless energy in a franchise that would dominate pop culture for a generation. The scene was not a debut. It was a culmination of a craft honed through relentless rehearsal, an unyielding appetite for script pages, and a reputation for delivering lines that crackle with precision. Jackson's reputation for preparation began long before the silver screen. After studying acting at the University of California, San Diego, he honed his technique in the experimental theater of San Francisco's Black Box community, where the discipline of nightly performances forged a work ethic that would define his career. He learned to dissect a character the way a carpenter measures a board. Every notch, every angle, every grain matters. This meticulous approach meant he could walk onto a set with a script in hand and a clear roadmap, turning even the most chaotic shooting schedule into a controlled performance. The breakthrough came when Spike Lee cast him as Gator in School Daze, 1988. Lee, known for demanding authenticity, recognized Jackson's ability to channel both swagger and vulnerability. Jackson arrived on set early, rehearsed his lines in the makeup trailer, and asked for specific feedback on tone. The result was a performance that resonated with audiences and critics alike, establishing a partnership that would later produce Do the Right Thing and Jungle Fever. In each collaboration, Jackson's process remained the same. He treated every scene as a rehearsal, never allowing the camera to capture a moment he hadn't already lived in his mind. When Pulp Fiction arrived in 1994, Jackson's iconic delivery of Ezekiel 25:17 was not a flash of improvisation, but the product of hours spent perfecting cadence, timing, and breath control. He rehearsed the monologue repeatedly, experimenting with pauses until the line settled into a rhythmic pulse that felt both threatening and oddly lyrical. The scene's impact was magnified because the audience sensed a confidence born of preparation, not spontaneity. Critics noted his commanding presence, a phrase that encapsulated years of disciplined rehearsal, vocal training, and a relentless pursuit of nuance. Beyond the marquee moments, Jackson built a reputation for punctuality that became legendary in Hollywood. Crew members recount that he would arrive on set before the call sheet, script in hand, ready to discuss beats with the director. This reliability translated into a work rhythm that allowed him to take on multiple projects simultaneously without sacrificing quality. Over the span of 3 decades, He has appeared in more than 150 films, a number that would overwhelm a less organized talent. Yet his methodical scheduling, combined with an ability to quickly internalize new characters, turned that volume into a showcase of sustained excellence. Jackson's craft extends into voice work, where his distinctive timbre becomes a tool for storytelling. From the animated The Incredibles to narrating documentaries, he treats each line as a miniature performance, shaping tone and inflection as meticulously as he would a live scene. He often records multiple takes, listening back to ensure the cadence aligns with the visual narrative. This dedication earned him a Grammy nomination for his spoken word album and cemented his status as a versatile storyteller. The actor's career also highlights an acute sense of taste. While many peers chase blockbuster after blockbuster, Jackson selects projects that challenge his range or align with personal convictions. His partnership with directors like Quentin Tarantino, who values dialogue precision, and his repeated collaborations with producers who prioritize diverse storytelling illustrate a strategic approach to role selection. This discernment has kept his portfolio fresh, allowing him to pivot from gritty dramas to comedic cameos without losing authenticity. In the 2020s, Jackson remains a vital force in both cinema and advocacy. He continues to reprise Nick Fury, now guiding a new generation of heroes, while also lending his voice to animated series that address social issues. His public appearances at film festivals often include panels on representation, where he emphasizes the importance of discipline, mentorship, and relentless preparation for emerging talent. He frequently cites his own early days in community theater as a reminder that every actor, regardless of fame, must return to the fundamentals of craft. Even as streaming platforms dominate, Jackson adapts without compromising his standards. Recent roles in limited series showcase his ability to sustain character arcs across episodes, a challenge that demands continuity in performance and an even deeper engagement with script nuances. He approaches each episode as a separate act, rehearsing lines anew, while preserving the through-line emotional thread. This method mirrors his early theater days, where each night required fresh energy despite a familiar script. Behind the scenes, Jackson's habits are simple yet powerful. He maintains a daily reading routine, devouring scripts, biographies, and news articles to stay mentally agile. He attributes his stamina to disciplined sleep patterns and regular exercise, practices that keep his voice strong for long shooting days. Colleagues note his habit of reviewing footage after a take, noting subtle gestures that could be tightened, a habit that reflects a lifelong commitment to refinement. Samuel L. Jackson's story is not a closed chapter. It is an evolving conversation about the intersection of talent, discipline, and adaptability. He stands shoulder to shoulder with legends, Anne Heche's daring spirit, Paul Rubens' inventive humor, David McCallum's suave intrigue, Richard Lewis's razor-sharp timing, Freddie Mercury's stage domination, and Robbie Coltrane's towering presence. Yet his narrative continues to write itself. As he steps onto new sets, records fresh voice tracks, and mentors the next wave of actors, his craft remains a living testament to the power of relentless work ethic, measured preparation, and an unquenchable curiosity about the art of performance. The story of Samuel L. Jackson is still being told, and each new role adds another layer to a career that refuses to rest. In the final moments of this documentary, the focus returns to the present. A seasoned actor, still commanding a room, still choosing roles with intent, still shaping the cultural dialogue through disciplined artistry. Samuel L. Jackson is not a relic of cinema history. He is a current, active architect of the stories we watch. A living example that mastery is a daily practice, not a distant achievement. The legacy he builds today is measured not only by awards or box office numbers, but by the countless actors who now approach their craft with the same rigor he modeled. His ongoing presence on screen, his voice resonating in new projects, and his public advocacy all signal that the next chapter of his career is already in motion, inviting audiences to witness the next evolution of a legend who is very much alive.